Hello there. Are we on? I think we're on. Hi. How's it going? Building a PC, as you can see. Doing something different today as well. Man, I'm shiny. I used moisturizer. My skin started looking pretty dry and awful, so I used moisturizer. First time in my life I've used moisturizer out of vanity. But now I'm shiny. Why did nobody tell me moisturizer makes your face go shiny? How do women deal with this stuff? Or how do men deal with this stuff? Men who actually care about their appearance. Also, I think I use too much product in my hair. And look at me, wearing a button shirt and everything. What's going on in my life? So, this is actually the second go I've had at building this PC. The first time around, a few weeks back, we had a bit of an issue with the motherboard. I have since RMA'd the motherboard. My, happy friends at GIGABYTE, who actually supplied this for this build, by the way, and HyperX supplied that memory. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, the happy, make it all right, feel good guys at GIGABYTE swapped this off my hands, fixed it, sent it back. Apparently, there was some sort of weird issue with the BIOS, because we did have to update the BIOS to make it work with the second gen Ryzen we're going to use here. But it appeared to work, but apparently something went completely pear-shaped, which was unfortunate. So, second go at building this PC. I'm also doing something different today. That's the sentence I started before. I'm dual streaming. Twitch, where I usually stream. Hi to the regulars. How you doing? Also, thank you to who was it who subscribed there? Xvoss subscribed. Tier 2, 31 months in a row. Can we get some love and chat for Xvoss? 31 months in a row sub. But I'm also dual streaming to YouTube, and I'm doing that in sort of a hacky, weird way because it's kind of difficult to do that when you use OBS. So I'm running a second instance of OBS, which, interesting enough, the second instance you run doesn't respond to Stream Deck commands, which is good for me because of the way I'm doing things. But I'm actually pulling the Twitch stream through my Xbox, capturing the Xbox via one of my capture cards back there, and feeding that into the second instance of OBS. So the YouTube guys are a little bit delayed because of that loop. My stream is actually coming back to me through the Twitch app on the Xbox and into a capture card for the YouTube stuff, but I figured it was worth the go, especially for this kind of stuff. Because I'm a Twitch partner, I don't think I'm allowed to do that with gameplay, but with IRL stuff, I'm allowed to do it. So, dual stream. Hi, how's everybody? Jamsky, Rose, I'm a Treason. How you doing? And hello, YouTube chatters. I've never actually, well, I did stream once on YouTube, but it's changed a bit since then. So, hello to you guys. Play Dora web browser games? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, gotta get those Dora games. Quick Master, we need to catch you. What? Oh, Shiny Blunty. Right, I get it. Shiny Blunty is differently coloured Pokemon thing. And also, button-down shirt, which I almost never wear. The case. Yes, the case. Let's go back to the cam. Case I'm using. Oops. Think that out of. Case I'm using is this. Is the InWin A1. Relatively new case. It was brand new when I first tried to build the system a month and a half ago, whatever it was. But yeah, it's a really nice little Mini-Itx case. Very small, very tidy, lots of room inside. Built-in power supply, 650 watts. Space for two 2.5 inch drives on the back there. We're also using a M.2 drive. But yeah, I really quite like it. Neat, tidy. It's got built-in RGB that sort of underlights it and everything. It's even got a built-in wireless charger on the top here for your phone and whatnot, which I can't currently use because my phone doesn't do that. Although I did just pre-order a iPhone XS Max, so I'll be able to pop my phone on top of that and have it charged, which is neat, I suppose. But yeah, this rig is going to be a VR experimental rig. Ow. 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 So the idea is, aside from my regular VR rig, which I've got sort of off screen there, this is for me to do experimental stuff with, set up unusual combinations of hardware. Try that thing where you stream Steam VR to a phone and a headset and use unusual motion controls, all that kind of stuff. I want a separate machine to try that sort of stuff on so I don't F up my personal main mission critical VR rig that I use for doing VR reviews and games. Although I haven't done much of that recently. We're going to get back into that. Don't worry about it. No, not using Restream. I just went through this, James. I'm capturing my Xbox One X, pulling down the Twitch stream and restreaming that from OBS, a second instance of OBS. It's really weird and convoluted, but it seems to be working perfectly fine. Maybe get a little quality hit on YouTube, but it's a live stream, who cares? Finally get the stream to load, my name connection, Twitch's name up design. Yeah, Twitch is a bit fiddly, but still. What GPU I'm using? I don't know. I've got a GTX 1080 sitting here, which is the most powerful GPU I've got sitting spare, as it were. But I've also got a selection of other video cards that are sitting right next to me because I've been running a bunch of benchmarks on Tomb Raider. So I've got a 1070 Ti, but that's in another machine right now. 1070, 1060, a couple of 1060, 1050, 1050 Ti. I don't have any 20 series cards yet, but that's another potential thing we can test in this machine when the time comes. But yeah, 1080. So, GIGABYTE supplied this motherboard for me, the AB350N gaming Wi-Fi. Nothing especially special, but I do like GIGABYTE's ITX motherboards. They've served me very, very well in the past, and this is the first motherboard I've ever had an issue with from GIGABYTE, and I had to send it back for to do something with the BIOS, refresh the BIOS, or do something with it. But yeah, over the years, first one that's ever given me any problem, and getting it fixed up was easy, so thank you, GIGABYTE friends. And as far as the CPU goes, we got this guy here, which is the AMD Ryzen 5 2600, so second gen Ryzen 5. So we got, what is it, 12 threads? Keep forgetting. Yeah, 6-core 12-thread processor. So lots of threads for the VR to do its thing, and also for me to be able to use stuff alongside it. So if I need to record what I'm doing in VR, it's nice to have those extra threads there I can dedicate to a recording session in OBS if I need to do some overlays, or I could just use the built-in NVIDIA recording stuff to record the screen that way, which also works quite well. So yeah, just wanted to overdo it on the CPU a little bit. That's more than you really need for VR. Like my own personal VR machine runs on a first gen Ryzen 5 1600. So, and that works perfectly fine. Beautiful. And that was sent in by AMD, by the way. That's the review sample they sent me of this, which I hadn't actually had a chance to put in a build yet because I had the problem with this thing. So sorry about that, AMD friends. Sorry I made you wait for it, but yeah, I heard good things. Lastly, on the sponsored side of things, we got the HyperX Predator RGB RAM there, which is their new RGB Predator. I've always liked the Predator RAM. It's got a nice sort of cool design without going too overboard. But yeah, this one's got the programmable RGB lights in it as opposed to the single color ones they used in the past. And you know me, I love my RGB stuff. That rig back there behind me, fully RGB, that can be any color I like. Well, it can be any color I like when the Thermaltake software actually works, which it doesn't at the moment. Thermaltake, when are you going to update your ring software for AMD? How much does the setup cost in AMD as Ben and YouTube? I don't know. I haven't done the math off the top of my head. I did have a parts list when I first did the stream, but I forget what it came out to. It's like 1500 or something Australian. I don't know. I have a question about a stream PC build. Okay, Crowned. What do you need to know? I'm trying to keep up with 2 chats, by the way, and I'm normally not that great at keeping up with 1 chat half the time, but yeah. All right, so. Let's move. I got a 4-pack of that RGB RAM, so I'm using that in a different thing. But of course, Mini-Itx only supports 2 sticks, so we need 2 of the 4, which will give me 16 gigs because these are 8 gig sticks. So let's get started. What is the lowest end GPU you would consider using for VR? I mean, an i5 from a year, 2 years ago, it's probably still pretty fine. I mean, VR isn't any more demanding on the CPU than regular gaming, really. Because it's still doing the same amount of calculation for physics and all that kind of crap. It's just the GPU side of things, having to render essentially 2 screens, one for each eye, at 90 Hertz. Also, the GPU is much more important than the CPU when it comes to VR stuff. Shirt is not working great with the camera. Oh yeah, I'm getting all kinds of Morier patterns, I know. Maybe I should change my shirt. Yeah, I'm going to change my shirt. Give me a sec. Ow. Ow. Man, this place is crowded at the moment. So much clutter. There we go. There we go. I've got my my beer loading shirt. One of my favourites, but it has a... Where's the stain? There's a really bad stain on it from bleach once. So I can't really wear it outside much anymore. Have a $1,000 budget for a dedicated stream PC build. Is AMD Ryzen 1800 my best? Yeah, 1800 is going to do great for a stream PC. All those extra threads, nice. Well, extras opposed to what we had this time last year or whatever. Does that mean the return of Blunty's VR chat? I've been thinking about popping back into VR chat. It's been a while. Walked away from it for a while there. Mainly because we had a heat wave last summer and I stopped going into VR chat every night and fell out of the habit. Alright, which way around are we going here? Gentle. Beautiful. I love the AMD sockets. So easy. Who did that? Thank you. Vated Streams. 2 bits. Got a new processor about a month ago. AMD F. You bought a new processor a month ago and you got the AMD FX 8350. Why? Get the Ryzen's. They're so much better. The Ryzen makes life so much better. I'd hardly call that a new CPU at this stage. Alright, we're going to need the I/O plates. I'm going to need that later. Don't need that, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. Where's my manual gone? Ruh-roh. They didn't send me back my manual. Or did I keep it? Oh, shh. Might be in trouble if I don't have the manual. Although, I think the front I/O, it's pretty well labelled anyway. We should be fine. Alright. YouTube chat's not saying much. YouTube chat, say hello. I had an AMD FX 4300. It was so bad, yeah. Yeah. Those are the bad old days of AMD. Man, they picked up their shoelaces. Picked up their shoelaces? That's not a phrase. That's not a word people say. They really came to the party, I guess, with the Ryzen stuff. So much better. 6300 is doing just fine with that ridiculous heat of the 8300. Eh. Hey, Me217, how you doing? And thank you for the follow, Techie. There. Alright, now, how did I go last time when I built this thing? Was it better for me to do the core? No, I'm gonna have to do the core first, aren't I? I'm gonna be using the stock AMD coolant because, frankly, it is pretty damn good. Not great, but good. And in the Mini-Itx case, trying to use a, I mean, there is just room for a water cooler or something, but the all-in-one cooler that I have to hand, I checked before stream, I seem to have lost... Get it back in there. I seem to have lost the AMD bracket for it. Or possibly it was a version of that cooler that came out before the Ryzen stuff, so I never had the Ryzen appropriate bracket for it. I don't know. Either way, I don't have an all-in-one cooler with the right bracket for this at the moment. So, We're going to go with the stock cooler for right now. Which reminds me, I need to take off these brackets first, don't I? Because for some reason, the stock AMD cooler doesn't work with these stock AMD brackets. AMD. Oh wait, yes it does. What am I thinking? I'm thinking the other way around, aren't I? Am I? What am I doing? I'm getting confused. I'm baffling myself. Yeah, no, we are going to take off the brackets. So yeah, back to my complaint. Stock AMD coolers don't work with the stock AMD brackets that come pre-installed on all AMD compatible motherboards. Grr. I'm only complaining slightly because, frankly, I hate these brackets. They're so fiddly with the little jammy arm thing. Grr. Hollow in YouTube chat says, I have a GTX 1060 with an FX 8300. What do I need to turn this into a podcast editing streaming rig? Microphone? I mean, the 1060, the FX 8300, you know what? I don't know. Might be time for an upgrade of the motherboard and CPU. Oh, and probably RAM along with that, considering the age of the 6300. 1060 is going to do you fine, though. That'll last you for a few years yet. Yeah, might be time for an upgrade. I mean, podcasting, easy peasy. Editing, audio editing, easy peasy. Video editing, might get a little ragged on that CPU. Streaming, you might get away with, depending on your bitrate and settings and everything. Give it a go. I mean, you know, got the shit sitting there, so give it a go. See how you go. What are you going to lose? Bet your time. Built PCs back in the 90s. Popped in to see if there's much different. It's not really that much different, Retro Gamer. I mean, the stuff is nicer, but motherboard layouts still pretty much identical. The front panel I/O is still a fiddly pain in the ass. You know, the 20-pin power and your 8-pin CPU power, it's pretty much the same as it ever was. RAM goes in the same way, graphics cards go in the same way, PCI slots. I mean, you get better USB ports and better I/O and built-in Wi-Fi and shit these days, but assembly is basically the same as you remember it, mate. Easy peasy. Lol, I'm building my PC right now too. Want to race? I'm not going to race you. Let's see, which way up do I want this? If we put it up that way, yeah, probably get a better chance of seeing the AMD logo that way, I guess. Like it matters. Actually, that the other way might interfere with the RAM. Docking complete. Thank you, Codemaster, for the Twitch follow. Yep, I think we're locked. What up, Bidwar? Hate the front panel USB 3.0. Yeah, I hate that too. So big and bulky and stupid. I say it every time I build a machine on stream. I always complain about it. I really need a new screwdriver. My old ratcheting screwdriver is just falling apart on me, literally. Hey, Mavithjet, how you doing? Love your channel, keep it the great one. Thank you, Ultimate Gamer Yut. How are we doing for viewership, by the way? We got Twitch viewers. I got like twice as many people on YouTube as Twitch right now. Come on, Twitch people. What do I think of the Acer Triton 900? I'm not familiar with it. It's one of the laptops, isn't it? The Triton series? Oh yeah, I should have kept reading. 17-inch gaming laptop flips to a tablet. Yeah, I don't know much about the Acer stuff. I don't have any PR contacts with Acer. I don't get press releases from them, and so unless I seek it out for myself, I don't really keep up on their gear very closely. You know, I don't hear many bad things about them, but I am currently sponsored by Lenovo, so I would be remiss if I said to you, you know, check out the Lenovo laptops. Actually, I will be checking out one of the Lenovo laptops soon. The tower I've got right now that I've been doing videos about, the sponsored stuff, the Y730, that's going to go back soon. Although, keep your eye on my Twitter later today. There's an announcement going out for a little thing we're doing with that. But yeah, they're going to send me one of their Y530 gaming laptops as well, which has a 1060 in it and everything. It's really slick. I can't wait to play with it. Okay, where is... Thank you, Techie. Limits. Where is my front panel fan? Not front panel fan, my CPU fan. Ah, there you are. Thank you, Jamsky. Alright, what are you going to do about this cable? We can tuck it through there. It's reasonably tidy. Lenovo is great, using a Lenovo Tower PC right now. Got a $500. Well, that'd be one of their office type ones, yeah? Where's the Tower Notebook for gaming? Yeah. Thank you again, Techie. Hujum. Throwing me 79 cents in the YouTube. What do they call it? Hyper Chat, Smart Chat, Super Duper Chat. Super Chat, isn't it, on YouTube? Thank you for that. Sorry, I'm going to scroll up here, see what I missed there. How many years do you think a 1050 Ti will last for? For 1080p 60 gaming? I wouldn't really recommend it now for 1080p 60 gaming if you want to max everything out. I mean, you'll do medium settings for most stuff pretty easily, but yeah. I mean, unless what you're talking about is the esports kind of stuff, because that's what it's designed for, you know, League of Legends and Overwatch and shit like that, just to get that stuff done. But AAA 1080p 60 gaming, 1060 is your better bet. But yeah, I mean, you'll get another year or two out of it without too many sacrifices. Thank you, Decky, Jamsky. What are you having, a race? Acer announces gaming chair. There's PC built into it. A chair with a PC built into it. Nice work, Acer. And I thought Thermaltake's... Wait, was it Thermaltake? Yeah, Thermaltake made a chair with fans built into the bottom of it, so you sit on the fans, and the fans cool your ass as you're sitting on. Just, it was, I don't know. Yeah, the stock cooler thermal. Yeah, the stuff is pre-applied to the thermal paste is pre-applied to the stock coolers. Good to do it. PC building hasn't changed much. This video is making me want to do modern build. Yeah, do it. Do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it. At least Windows 10 is easier than Windows 9. Well, I don't know about easier. Different. Oh yeah, you don't have to fuck around with IRQ shit anymore like you did back in the day. That's something I don't miss. IRQ interrupts and conflicts and shit like that back in the DOS days. Oh, the issues I had setting up my first sound card. Oh, what a pain in the ass. RQ5. I'm going to manually set that shit.
Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, hey, pat on the back. Pat on the back for this guy. What's up, dub?
A little bit of love in the chat for Barker, please. Throw down the sub there. Prime sub on Twitch. Thank you. Remember, I don't have any alerts set up for what happens on YouTube. I mean, I can see the super chat stuff when it comes through because I've got the chat on screen, but I don't have any bing alerts or anything like that for the YouTube stuff. Because this is the first time I've done the dual stream and I didn't know how well it was going to work, so I didn't want to put too much work into it before moving forward. Liquid cooled chairs. Yeah, I've already had that thought. I already had that thought about liquid cooled chair. I mean, I think NASA already have them, or the Air Force do. Because they've got liquid cooled suits, but I think at one point there's also at least one aircraft with liquid cooled seat in it or something like that. I don't know. Fish, are you in the chat? He'll know. Fish is my military history guy. EM386 boot drives. Oh Christ, yeah. Oh yeah, and having manually set how much system RAM you had, 512 or 640, and is Windows going to run alright with it? Bad old days. Thank you, Techie, again, and Jamsky. Space Force, yeah, I mean the Space Force. Okay, where are we? I should probably try and do the front panel stuff. No, wait. I nearly forgot this last time. I put in the M.2 drive, very important. So what I'm working with here is I've got a Western Digital Blue 1 terabyte SSD here, which is going to be used for game installs.
Hey, pat on the back! Pat on the back for this guy!
Is that one louder than the rest?
Nearly a whole year. May all your anti-static wrist straps be grounded.
I'm not wearing one. Freak out. Can we get some love in the chat for Mammoth Jeff there? And that is why, by the way, we have the RIP headphone users emote over on Twitch. Gotta love the jump scare sub alerts, don't you? Just gotta love them. Alright, so yeah, what do I say? We're also rudely interrupted by the generous subscription of Mammoth Jeff. Yeah, year next year, man. Yeah, so terabyte SSD Western Digital Blue for installs and shit like that. But I've also got the M.2 drive here, which actually that camera's not going to focus because I turned autofocus off because the Logitech webcam I'm using for the overhead thing just boop, boop, pulses all the time because the focus sucks on those things. That's a 500 gig Western Digital Blue M.2 drive, which we'll be using for the system drive and some other installs as well for various bits of software. But I think most of the games will be going on that, but there'll be room enough on that for all kinds of software to sit alongside Windows with half a terabyte worth. One of my favourite things about these Mini-Itx boards with the little M.2 drive on the back. Such a clever use of space. Of course, your SOL, if you ever need to swap the thing out, you have to dismantle the entire thing. Actually, no, I don't think you do with this, because yeah, I think the case I'm using has a cutout that was probably going to let me get to that. .386 for life. No, I had a 386DX, bro. My first Windows PC was a 386DX. AMD made the world's fastest 386. Like Intel's fastest 386 ran at 33 megahertz. My 386 from AMD, bitch, that thing went to 40 megahertz. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Had a megabyte of RAM in the thing. It's awesome. Right. Time for the fiddly crap. Should come with a Mini-Itx board, just like a compact there. Yeah, they're all nice. The only thing I don't like about the Mini-Itx is you only get, of course, one PSCIe slot, which for me can be a bit limiting because I use capture cards a lot for various things, but I did just get in for review an external 4K capture card. It only goes to 4K 30, whereas the internal one I'm also reviewing back there goes to 4K 60, but still super handy. It'll do 1080p at 60 as well, so. Right. That's my USB. That is my audio. Front panel, there we go. Alright, let's see if we can get this attached before we start screwing this into the box. Make my life slightly easier. Hello, Mitchie. YouTube chat. I know what a 16 years sort of floppy disk is. But do you know the 5 different common instances of floppy disk? 3.5 SD, HD, 5.25, double density. Man, remember those 5.25 inch discs? Fuck, I hated those things. 3.5 was the way to go. You'd sit for hours just fiddling with the latch. I loved your pizza roast video. Have you tried it yet, Spunky Bear? I'm not kidding. That wasn't putting on a show for the video. That is actually legitimately not bad. I mean, it's not great. It's not bad though. The old 8-inch floppies? Yeah, the 8-inch floppies are a bit before my time. I mean, I was aware of their existence, but I never laid hands on one. Although I think my high school had an old 8-inch drive somewhere that wasn't plugged into anything. Okay, there's my torch. I can see what I'm doing here. Yeah, I'm going to have to try and find my manual. That's too hard to read. Tiny, tiny printing. Even with my new glasses, tiny, tiny print. Hey! I did accidentally keep it. Should have sent it back with the RMA, but never mind. Stinky, in my opinion. I would only get an Intel CPU if you're going to do virtualization. I was going AMD for everything else. Well, I mean, the way it breaks down is this. AMD is better value for money, but the Intel ones give you a little bit better performance for gaming. It's not huge, but it is measurable. So, you know, they still have their pros and cons, but at least the race is much, much, much closer than it used to be. So Intel don't sweep the market anymore. They've got competition. They're pushing forward, putting more cores in, putting more threads in. And you can thank AMD for forcing them to finally step up their game. Competition is good for us all. First came to your channel from your old Pokemon C file video. Yeah, that thing still gets views and comments. Just pause in. I gotta tell you, you have no idea how many comments I've deleted from that video of people claiming it's their cartridge. Like, literally, every week, there's at least 4 different people adding more. Oh, it's my cartridge. Can I have it back? It's not your cartridge, you fucking liar, piece of shit. Why do people lie like that? Alright, where's my front I/O crap? Come on. Here we go. Where's my pinouts? That's the CPU pin. Ah, here we go. Okay. So we're oriented right. Power LED plus. Power switch, power LED. Which is the positive side of that, do you think? It's not even marked on this. InWin. Please mark the polarity of your fucking pins. Here we go. I guess the little arrow there's supposed to be plus. So, power LED. What is it? The 3-way one. There it is. Okay, power LED. And power switch next to it, underneath. Is that? It's the only part of assembling a PC I have to check the manual for. It just bugs me every time. It's for this stupid crap. Why isn't there just one plug? Okay. And the power LED secondary, nope. HDD LED. Activity LED is positive on the out, which means we need to go that orientation. There we go. Painless enough. I've had worse times. Intel 8080. My first, well, I don't think we were officially boyfriend and girlfriend, but in primary school, what kind of girlfriend and boyfriend, you know, the early days. where it's all giggles and stuff. Yeah, her dad had a 8086. I remember him telling me about it, and that was the first time I learned about the 86 architecture. He taught me all about it. Good bloke. It's been 30 years, should be just one plug, yeah. Some motherboard manufacturers give you a little mini plug. You can plug those separate things into one single plug and then go into the motherboard. But, you know, it's just another point of failure. This thing too. This thing right here. This front panel USB 3.0 crap. Oh, what a fucking chunky piece of crap. Hate it. We can leave that for the moment. That's easy enough. I think that's most of the fiddliest stuff. We can probably get away with just popping the motherboard in now. Here's my IO panel. It was just a little freaky because all I could think of was soggy bread. Well, the pizza bread itself, it doesn't, it's not like chunks of soggy bread. It kind of completely dissolves. So it's more like, it thickens the rice, basically. Makes it more pudding-like, I suppose. Have you never had bread pudding? It's a bit like that, but less sweet. Need to do a rebuild soon. Bought a Dell XPS a while back. It was a killer deal. 8700K, GTX 1070. I want to rebuild with new Bobo case. I mean, what do you... I mean, that's still a pretty badass build. Why are you feeling the need to do a rebuild? You just want to do a rebuild for the sake of doing a rebuild? Or you're sort of hitting a wall with performance somewhere along the line? That's what I meant. Personally, like, because they have a higher cloud count for a much more affordable price, like what I said. Core count. Cloud count. Autocorrect got you on that one, I bet. Alright, make sure we go the right way up. Been caught out by that before. Real men hate manuals. You know what? The older I get, the more I appreciate a well-written manual. Because while there is something enjoyable about just figuring it out yourself, sometimes, like the front panel II stuff, sometimes it's just nice not to have that misery. Bread pudding is good. I haven't had bread pudding in fucking forever. I don't think I've had bread pudding since I was like 15, actually. When I was a kid, I knew an extra engineer had an IMSA 8080. Old. What is this Mini-Itx build going to be for, though? This is going to be my experimental VR rig, primarily. Something I can fiddle with unusual combinations of VR hardware on and that kind of stuff without messing up my actual VR rig, my personal VR rig. Because some VR stuff is a little bit fiddly to get set up properly, and I've got that thing set up just the way I like it, and it's set up for streaming, and I don't want to fuck it up by installing a bunch of other extra drivers for a bunch of different kinds of, you know, third-party software to make stream go to a mobile phone that's in a headset and using unusual motion controls and different combinations of that. I just wanted a sacrificial machine to get that stuff done without screwing up my mission critical VR rig. Oh, this is a piece of shit. Actually, you know what? Let's get you out of the way altogether. Come here. There we go. I'm just pulling through the front panel audio cable to the back of the case, so I don't have to maneuver around it while trying to get the motherboard in here. There we go. That'll make life easier. Oh, my least favorite bit about ITX builds: finagling inside these cases. And the built-in power supply, while welcome, makes this just a bit harder. Come on, nearly there. Oh, there it goes. Well, that went without issue for the most part. Motherboard, 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 motherboard. Come here. Alright, now because my screwdriver fails to hold a magnetic charge, I'm going to actually use a little piece of blue tack to help me position this screw. Pro tip hacks. Here we go, perfect. Jamski's going out for food. Might be back if you're still streaming. Yeah, probably still streaming. No plans on finishing up this quickly. Zerotech on YouTube says, does anyone know what hardware he's using for this build? I'm too lazy to go back in the video to find out. I am using a GIGABYTE, what is it? AB350N gaming Wi-Fi motherboard, a 2nd gen Ryzen 5 2600 CPU. I'll be using a GTX 1080 in there. This is the InWin A1 case with the built-in 650 watt power supply. I'm using HyperX, what's the speed on that? Where is it? The HyperX Predator RGB RAM, 16 gigs of, 2399 megahertz. Did I forget anything? No, I think that's it. Oh, and yeah, a terabyte Western Digital Blue SSD and a 500 gigabyte Western Digital M.2 drive. What is blue tack? I don't know what the international equivalent of blue tack is. Tiki tack? Stuff you put your posters up on the wall with. It's like, yeah, I don't know whether there's a what Americans call it or anything. Tic tac, blue tack, poster tack, whatever it is. But yeah, it's the plasticine sort of feeling stuff that you put posters up on the wall with without having to put push pins in your wall and shit like that. Okay. Feeling good. Let's get the 24 pin in. Always have to wrestle with these fucking things as well. No, it's not chewing gum. Fun tack. Yeah, I've heard it called fun tack before. Isn't the main board he's using like really new because of the stacked M.2 slot? No, I mean the M.2 slots on the back of Mini-Itx boards have been around for a couple of generations now. I can't see the black on black on black in shadow. There we go. Beautiful. Now there is a there is a cover that goes over this power supply as well to help hide some of these cable sins. If you're worried about how ugly that looks right now, don't worry, we'll get there. Actually, that's not bad either. Okie dokie. Now, the thing I forgot to do the first time I did this build was connect the CPU power. That set me back a bit. Who was there for that stream? Remember that? Remember how stupid I felt? In fact, let's have some retroactive derp. Right there. Some little bit of retroactive derp face. I still feel stupid about that. You can chew it, but does not. Yeah, blue tack does not taste great. I think most kids have tried it. Or at least put it in their mouth to hold it while they're trying to use both hands for something else. Stuff used in every dorm room to affix things to walls and doors? Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, I don't know what it's branded at elsewhere, but Blu-Tack is like the word for it. Blu-Tack is like Kleenex for that stuff, really. There's lots of different brands of it, but everyone just calls it Blu-Tack, even when it's not in the blue variety. BB on the fly, on the BB the One Husky. Thank you for the follow there. There we go. Not too shabby. Tidy enough. Alright, that's my thing. Okay. How about that front panel audio? Where'd you go? Let's bring you through this gap. Got to connect the CPU power after I replaced a cheap PSU with an EVGA 80 plus scale PSU and spent ages wondering why my PC blue screening. Yeah. That is the first time I've ever managed to do that though, thankfully. And it was mainly because I thought this board didn't have it, because it's in an unusual spot. It's down here instead of up here. It's almost always up in that top left-hand corner, but on this board, it's hidden just behind the USB ports and next to the Wi-Fi M.2 card thing there. And I didn't see it. I thought, oh, must not have one. It must just reroute the power from the 20 pin like some motherboards have done. Shrug. Cool. Yeah, do we have enough slack to route this around the top of the RAM so we can hide some more cables in? Just maybe not. Oh, actually, do we have enough slack to go all the way around? We do. Haha. This case does have a windowed panel front, so I'm trying to be a little bit careful with my cable management here. I'm not being too anal about it, but you know, a little bit of care. Doesn't take much effort. There we go. Looking pretty tidy so far, wouldn't you say? Nice. So should I get a Ryzen for pure gaming? I mean, every frame. If you need every frame you can get, go Intel. I love the Ryzen chips, but it's a fact that Intel have very slightly better per core performance, and a lot of games still rely on single core performance for some stuff. So if you absolutely need every last frame, Intel's the way to go. But if you want a bit better bang for your buck, AMD's there to back it up. But yeah, I'm loving what Intel's doing recently. They've got some real nice stuff happening. Did it because a 4x4 pin connector and the two parts didn't stay together properly? Yeah, that'll get you out sometimes too. I hate that. Went to college, told not to use the blue fun tack to avoid staining the walls. But that's the whole point of it. It's not supposed to stain the walls. That's why it exists. Alright, speaking of which, what did I do with it? What did I do with that blob of blue tack? Because I still haven't screwed in all the motherboard stuff. Really? Have I lost it? Anyone see what I did with it? Oh, there it is. On the bottom of the cover there. Alright. I think I might leave the top corner one because I just... Ow. Sorry. Sorry. That probably sounded really awful. Sorry. Yeah, I'm just going to do 3 motherboard screws because I cannot reach that one at the top there. It'll be enough. It's not like it's a huge heavy board. 3 points will be sufficient. Oop, nearly dropped a screw in there. I've not got a PC myself yet. Too scary. Ah, it's not scary at all, Mammoth. There's a video on my main YouTube channel. Just like go to the video page and search for beginner's guide. I think the only keywords you need. And there's a video on there that is, you know, a nice, I think very well done video on how to build your first PC. Trying to remove as much as the fear factor as possible. And I did that as a sponsored vid for MSI, back when they were a sponsor. But I really quite like the video. I like how it came out. A few people have told me it's helped them, so if you're looking to burn away some of that fear, check that video out. Just bought a Ryzen 1600 and loving it with my 1070 Ti. Yeah, that's a nice combo. That's more or less what my other VR rig is, except I don't have the 1070 Ti on there. I've got the Vega 56, which is not quite as powerful as the 1070 Ti, but close. Close enough. Good for VR though. Cabinet pet peeve for me. I work on industrial machine automation. Some people don't care. Yeah, I've seen some of that. Mate of mine was training to be a what was the job title? Anyway, industrial stuff, and yeah, he was pretty anal about that stuff too. My college made a point of forcing students to favour their bookstore for as much as possible, even for the fun tack. Allowed you to do the 25 to 200% markup side. Jesus. Right, let me have a look at the YouTube chat now. Make sure what I didn't miss. Make sure what I didn't miss. Nice English, idiot. Will this video be uploaded to watch back later? Yeah, YouTube should be automatically archiving it, I believe. But I have forgotten to record it locally, so whoops-a-daisy. She might start recording now. I guess I need to edit something out of it. Did you get any RTX? I have not got any RTX review cards, no. I haven't done any benchmarks on them. I haven't signed any NDAs or anything like that. But I am told from at least one brand that I am on their list to get post-release review samples. So I won't be doing a pre-release review, but hopefully, fingers crossed, shortly after release, I'll have one in hand to test and play with. No idea whether they're going to let me keep it, though. We'll see. And I have put out feelers to one other company as well to see if they've got any review stock on hand. But yeah, I don't have any pre-release stuff, unfortunately. I'm not big deal enough. What do you think of ray tracing games? I think it's fantastic. It adds a layer of realism and situational awareness that brings is wonderful, because you'll be able to see genuine reflections of stuff that's not on screen but is around a corner and things like that. Yeah, there's all kinds of real subtle ways that ray tracing can improve not only how a game looks, but the gaming experience itself, the gameplay, and how you react to the environment and what the environment tells you about what's happening in the game. All of that there's lots of little benefits through ray tracing. It's not just it looks pretty. It's legitimate, practical stuff that's exciting. But yeah, we're a little way away from that being common in games though, so this is just step one. First time I seen you was Tim Tam's. I've been thinking about revisiting that whole Tim Tam thing. It's been ages since I did any of that. I feel like it's a thing every Australian content producer has to do every few years. Alright, hang on. Where am I at? Let's talk about getting the SSD in place. So let's bring these... Let's bring these cables out of the way. And flip her over. Okay, so I've got room enough for 2 drives. I'm only going to be using one at the moment. But yeah, I may get a depending on how I wind up using this rig, I may get a 2 terabyte or 4 terabyte mechanical drive to pop in the second spot for doing local recordings and things like that if I wind up using it like that. But we'll see. Alright, little screws. There you are. Ray tracing and Rayman, heck yeah. Tell you what, if Ubisoft aren't working on that, they're missing a trick. Ray Traced Rayman. Geez, those Rayman games are good though. They really are good. Such exquisite platforming. One day I may actually understand what a Tim Tam is. It's a cookie. It's a chocolate cookie thing with fillings and chocolate coating and everything. They're delicious. Way better than America's cookie, which is the Oreo. Tim Tams are so much better than Oreos. Even better than chocolate-coated Oreos. Hey, McGilsey. How you doing? How much is this build? I have no idea, actually. I haven't done the pricing. Because a couple of these parts are from an older build, like the hard drive I'm using here and the M.2 drive that's already installed the motherboard. Those are from another build. The case is new, but I forget how much that costs off the top of my head. I think it was like 150, 180, something like that, Australian. The motherboard was supplied by GIGABYTE for review, so I didn't have to know the price of that off the top of my head. The RAM that I'm using was supplied by HyperX. But I did make a pricing structure for the first time I built this rig. For those who are just joining us, I did build this rig about a month and a half ago, but the motherboard had a fault. I had to RMA it, send it back, and get it fixed. And it's now fixed, so I'm doing the build for a second time. This is take 2, basically. But I did have I did make a parts list somewhere, and I didn't have pricing. Hope I saved it, because otherwise I'm going to have to do it again by the time I re-upload this video with a proper parts list attached and everything. But yeah, I mean, it's not the most inexpensive rig in the world, but it's a long way from being the most expensive VR rig you could possibly build as well. It's a decent sort of lower top tier, we'll call it. Because you could go more extreme with the memory, you could go more extreme with the storage, you could go more extreme with the GPU I'm using. Well, not that much more extreme, because I'm using a 1080, but still. You could be water cooling it, there's space for more fans in the case, things like that, but yeah. How do you stay in such shape? I was amazed that you were never overweight. I am overweight. I've been losing weight recently because I've been trying to watch what I eat and how much I eat and eat way more, you know, rice and shit like that instead of pizza. Although I did get pizza last night. But yeah, I'm not what you call fit. I'm just not as fat as I was. About a year ago, I also switched to the sugar-free energy drinks because I don't drink coffee, so energy drinks is how I get my caffeine buzz. But I was drinking so many of them a day, and the sugar in them was, yeah, I was stacking on the weight just from that alone. As soon as I switched to the sugar-free ones, even though they're probably going to give me cancer, at least I'm not as fat as I was. So when I do die of cancer, at least I'll look better. Morbidity. Alright, I think a better bet would be to weave this under here. And then under here. And that would give me a little bit more opportunity for cable tidy. You looking good ship on YouTube? It's all camera lighting tricks. Come on. Find your hole, screw. Are you too good for your home? What's going on here? Am I misaligned? There we go. Nope. I misaligned somehow. What am I doing? What's going on here? Why are you not locking? Hey, cannon chain. Everything, yeah, everything gives you cancer, so, you know. At least I know what to blame. When the time comes. Hello, Happy Carrot. Can you give me a shout out, please? No, I will say hello to you, but I'm giving you a shout out. Because this isn't 2007. That's still misaligned. There we go, now I got it. Yeah. Not a huge fan of the way these trays line up, InWin, in case you're wondering. Room for improvement. Okay. I need a new torch. I got this Cisco torch. I don't even remember what event it was at. Might have been E3 a few years ago or something like that. Such a piece of shit though. Oh, I can't see what I'm doing. Oh, the fiddly misery of ITX cases. Am I going in the right way even? I'm not. I'm upside down. That's half my problem. There we go. Your tombstone will say he drank one of a sugar-free energy drink. Yeah. Actually, let's do a better job at this cable. Let's go around the RAM. Inside that. Okay. What I need is a petite female assistant. Well, not necessarily female, just someone petite with hands that aren't made out of steak. Well, you know. There's a hetero male. Female assistant would be my preference. You have some charming on-camera flirting. What motherboard it is? GIGABYTE B. Yeah, there we go. James Harrison's all over it. GIGABYTE B350. No, wait, it's the AB350N gaming Wi-Fi. AB350N gaming Wi-Fi from GIGABYTE. Okay. Where's my cover? Which way around this is supposed to go? That's the screw hole, so it's supposed to go this way. There we go. Beautiful. Let's have a nice long screw for that, giggity. Boom, 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 boom. Tidy. I have 2 words for the cancerous in your caffeine needs. Green tea. Yeah, green tea is not high enough in caffeine for me. Plus it's a diuretic. I do love green tea though. Not quite as much as I love Earl Grey, but still. RTX alright. If I had an RTX, Toby, if I had an RTX card, I would be putting it in, because apparently the reviewers are allowed to show them off now. I've seen about 70 gajillion unboxings of RTX cards, and a couple of people dismantling them, but no one's allowed to review them yet. But I could have installed it, I guess. Just couldn't have powered up the machine with that inside. But I don't have one. Alex says, I'm looking to build my first PC, going to go with AMD GTX 1060 6GB. I'm not sure of which processor to go with. 1626. Well, I'm using 2600 here, but depending on what you're doing with it, the 1600 may get you by perfectly fine and save you a little bit of money. But obviously the 2600 is better. But that, you know, for context here, my primary VR rig is running on a 1600, and it's going to keep running on a 1600 for however long it survives for, because it's doing a great job. But if you want to Twitch stream, things like that, go for the 2600. The extra threads there is and the extra sort of tweak to the speed is going to be nice, but not essential. Gaming, mostly survival games, editing and Lightroom. If you're going to do editing, if you can squeeze the money for 2600, go for 2600. It's going to make it just a little bit nicer in Lightroom, things like that. It won't be a night and day difference, but if you got the room and the budget, I'd go to 2600. That's what I'm using in this rig. Got to go eat something. Starving. All right, Zero Tech. Thanks for hanging out. You'll make me feel bad about 600. No, there's no need to feel bad about the 1600. Like I said, my VR machine, my primary VR machine now, is running at 1600, and it's doing everything it needs to do perfectly. Zero complaints. Right. Let's see here. So, hard drive installed, powered, and SATA'd. Motherboard power, motherboard front panel, motherboard audio, motherboard USB. I think we're getting close. Time for the beastie. Man, I really should disassemble this and clean it. There's a couple of dust bunnies caught in the heat sinks. Actually, where's my... Aha! There we go. Bit of compressed air. Yeah, I got some of the troublemakers. Still got that little one guy there, though. That's one little dust bunny. It'll survive. Okay. Let's get this screw out of here. Uh, 1600 is great. Did kick myself slightly. I was forced into a build 3 weeks before second gen Ryzen came out. Yeah, it always hurts, doesn't it? Should I use a hard drive along with an SSD? Again, depends on what you're doing. This rig doesn't have a mechanical hard drive in it. It may do down the track if I need sort of mass storage for recordings or something. But, I mean, if you've got the budget to go for a pure SSD system, like SSD for your system drive, a separate large SSD for your game installs, shit like that. I mean, obviously you're going to get the better performance, but if what you need is bulk space, mechanical drives are still king of the hill for value for money. So I have... I thought I might have a thumb screw around here somewhere, but I guess not. Oops. Man, this is a little bit bent out of alignment, isn't it? I hate PCA latches. Yeah. Better CPU or better GPU? Depends what you're doing. If what you're doing is CPU bound, then a better CPU. If what you're doing is GPU bound, better GPU. Right tool for the right job, son. There is no single answer. Oh, shit. Happens once in every build. Got it! Sooner or later you drop a screw inside. Don't get lazy. Always fish it out immediately. You'll regret it if you don't. Man, why is this being such a bitch? Why won't you align properly? It's disturbing. It's the InWin case, it glues down the bottom, isn't it? Sure is, Pip, which reminds me, that's what I haven't done. I haven't connected up the RGB. So out this graphics card comes again. Thank you, Pip, saving the day again. There it is. That's why I missed it. I had it tucked away inside the case. But this is the header for the RGB stuff. Alright. Out comes the manual again so I can find the header for that, because that is never in a standard spot. Thank you, Kidsock. LED C, LED C1, 17 and 18. Interesting. That's for RGB white. C1 is for RGB. What do we got here? Alright. I need C1 because we're just dealing with RGB, not RGBW. Black wire. So where was that one again? RGB C1 is 18, which is that one there. Which is fiddly, fiddly, fiddly. There it goes. Damn it, popped out. Stay. If I jam you in here, are you gonna stay? Please stay. Oh, for the love of God. Stay put, please. That should be about it. I guess really that much smaller than some NVIDIA cases. No, it's significantly smaller than the A240. Like my other VIA rig is literally in the A240. This is, I don't know, half the volume, maybe 60%. Yeah, significantly smaller footprint. Oh, please, just give me a little room to wiggle here. There's not a lot of give here. All right. I don't remember having this. I must have bent the case or something. I don't remember having this issue last time. There we go. Sounds like a party next door. Nah, it's just the garbos. Just the garbos. For DDR4, anything up to 1.35 should be fun. Yeah. That'd be the limit I'd go to. Yeah, GPU prices on eBay right now. Lots of people trying to get rid of their 10 series stuff before the 20 series stuff hits, so driving the price down. But yeah, getting an X mining GPU is another risk. Buying off eBay, you don't want that. Too much wear and tear. The 1800X PC comes with 16 gigs of RAM, 1050 Ti, 1500 comes with 8 gig, and 1050 Ti. And how does this? So the difference is 1800 versus 1500, both X, 16 versus 8, $100 difference. Yeah, I'd pay the $100 difference. Better CPU and W memory. No brainer. No brainer. What am I using to send to multiple stream platforms? I'm actually it's a bit of a hack. So what I'm doing is, I'm running two instances of OBS. One is my regular one I always use for streaming to Twitch. So that's going out to Twitch. I'm running a second instance of OBS, which I've got my Xbox One X pulling the Twitch stream back down again through the Twitch app, and I'm capturing that on a second instance of OBS and then sending that OBS out to YouTube. So the YouTube might be sort of double compressed. It seems to be alright though. But that's the easiest way around it that I found without jumping through ridiculous hoops or using Restream.io, which causes immense lag, and it seems to be working. I haven't had many people complain about the YouTube stream anyway. Everyone in chat's been focused on what's happening and asking questions, things like that. Nobody's been going, hey, your stream looks like shit. Right, I think I should plug in the GPU. I think after I plug in the GPU, we're ready to try and boot. Look at that tidy build though. A little bit of tidy up work to do, but let's see if we make sure it works first, eh? How about we do that? Okay. Keyboard receiver, and rip. Monitor. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. Power. Right, I need HDMI cable. Oh, the RAM's going to blinker. That's a good sign. Means you got passive board power. Is this the part where you throw confetti at it? Someone E3 vid. Power on. Okay. Pucker moment, guys. I've got to find the power switch. Where is it? Power's on. Hello, this is Pommelhorse. Hopefully this monitor actually works. This piece of old POS monitor that I haven't used in ages. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Hey! Ha 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 ha! Woot 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 woot! Woot 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 woot! Apparently there's a Windows install on at least one of these drives. That was interesting. I thought I blanked them. Oh, actually there might be an install on the M.2 drive I used, come to think of it. Because I pulled that out of the... Oh, okay. Let's see if Windows throws a fit. See what happens. Yep, no smoke. Doesn't smell funny. Silent. Let me turn my room fan off. Man, the power supply in this case is quiet. Alright, yeah, sorry, you can't see it because the overlay's in the way, but there we go. Getting devices ready. Windows is just doing a thing. Hey, you fish. Where were you earlier? I needed you. We were making jokes about water cooling chairs, and I thought to myself, I think the military have done that at one point. And I was thinking, you'd know. Fish should be the guy to know. I know they have water cooling in certain suits for pilots, but did they ever water cool the seats in them? Well, fuck me. Not only was the Windows install on this machine already, but it booted without issue. That's even bringing up my Steam install. Apparently the last thing I did on this was look at some Final Fantasy benchmarks, because it's bringing up the web pages for them. Alright, now, which drive is that Windows install on? It is on, it's on the terabyte drive. Not where I wanted it to be, so I'm going to have to reinstall Windows onto the M.2 drive, or does it really matter that much? I could just use the M.2 drive for game installs as well. It doesn't really matter that much, they're both SSDs. It's probably best to use the game installs on the M.2 anyway, it's faster. Screw it, we'll stick with this. I may have to change the key and everything when it connects to the internet and finds out that I changed the hardware or something, but yeah. My RGB on the case isn't working though. So, ow. Probably because I have to install the drivers for the RGB control of the motherboard and things like that, I don't know. Or there might be a switch for it somewhere I'm not seeing. But all that's, you know, stuff for later. Looks a little worse compared to the other one, completely watchable from Retribution says. Yeah, I mean, you know, this is the first time I've tried that dual stream thing. I'm sure there's some fine tuning I can do. But yeah, it seems to work. So I think I'll continue to fiddle with the process, and for the non-gaming stuff at least, I'll do the dual stream thing, I think. For the gaming stuff, because I'm a Twitch partner, I'm, you know, it's part of the Twitch partner agreement that I'm not allowed to stream games on YouTube. Although some people do it and they don't get in trouble for it, but I don't know. I'll talk to the Twitch peeps. Hello there, Crazy Eights. Just popped in to say, hey Blunty, your nerd looks sharp. You're browning it out more. What? I'm going to assume that sentence was supposed to say my beard looks sharp. Am I browning it out more? No. It just looks darker when it grows longer because it's denser. But yeah, I am growing out the beard. I should have put my beard balm in this morning to smooth it down, actually. It's a little bit fluffy today. But yeah, I'm growing out the beard. This is the longest that I've ever let my beard grow. I'm going to let it grow, see what it looks like. Because for my entire life, my entire adult life, I've worn a beard of one type or another. But I've always kept it clipped kind of really short. So, you know, this is a short beard, but it's as long as I've ever let it grow. No, I'm gonna see what happens when I grow it out. Okay, so it boots up first try. That's nice. Let's shut it down properly. And put on the front and back panels, tidy up the cabling a bit. Okay, they're done. We're done. Okay, that's that. Groovy happy times. It looks like you use it looks like you use Linux. I've never had that one before, but you're not wrong. You're not wrong. With the grey beard and everything, I guess I do look like a bit like some of the typical Linux users, eh? That's very funny. I'm smoking a blunt while watching you stream right now. Well, good for you. Enjoy it. That's long enough. Yeah, I don't know whether I'm going to go full ZZ Top with it. I'm going to let it grow longer to see what it looks like growing longer, but I think I'll keep it sort of fairly boxy at this kind of length, but I've still got to grow out some of this. The under chin stuff is still a bit shorter than the side stuff because of the way my beard was when I started growing it out, so... I'm actually going to be reviewing some beard care products soon as well. I've got a company that specializes in that stuff sending me a special comb, a special brush, some balm, and some beard oil and shit like that. So I have no idea whether you guys are interested in personal care review videos, but fuck it, I'll give it a go. I'll try most things once. I reviewed a pair of underwear once. You've been watching my channel long enough, so... I made, you know, I put pizza in a rice cooker. I'm not afraid to try different stuff on my channel. Alright, let's see if we can get these power cables for the hard drive in a bit tidier position. Because right now they're a bit dangly. And I don't like... manscaping. I hate that fucking word. It's not for my machine just to upgrade normal machine. My parents' place has AMD GPU for like 7 years ago. Yeah, it's pointless putting anything big in there. 1050 or even a 1030, yeah, that'd be fine. Cliche F. I'm streaming on both platforms, yeah. Decided to experiment with that today. Because quite frankly, the viewership on Twitch has been a little bit lately, so I thought I'll see what happens when I stream on YouTube as well. And frankly, YouTube viewership is beating Twitch viewership. Not by much, but yeah, actually it's about 15-20 people, something like that. But yeah, for this non-gaming stuff, I think I'll do the dual stream things. Might be nice. Okay. Don't really have to do much with the cables back here, do we? Oops. Hello. Apparently I broke off the PCIe latch. You don't need it. Okay, let's see if we can manangle these cables a little bit. I'm not too upset about how that looks. Except for this. Alright. Now, let's have a look at this RGB.
Hey, pat on the back! Pat on the back for this guy!
Beep, 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 beep. Thank you, Cliche AF. Throwing down the T1 sub right there. Can we get a little bit of love in the chat, please? Okay. To use 9up for setting up Windows. Nah. I've tried it many, many years ago, but Don't really bother about it these days. What did you register GPUs? Yeah, the GPU is going to come out easier now than that, because that latch is supposed to keep it in there. But, you know, there's a screw there, and it's, you know, it's not going anywhere. I hate those latches anyway. They're always so fiddly to reach in and release them. I've snapped them off deliberately a couple of times in builds, because I got so tired of them. Who was it? I think it was... No. Whose board was it? I forget. Some manufacturer's board, their PCIe latches are always a pain in the ass, so I snap them off. Makes life much easier. Now, where are the screws for those? I don't think those are the ones. Those are the ones for the front panel. Ah, bugger. I'll use normal screws to the back panel. It's fine. Who's ever going to see it? Do you have both chats up so read at the same time? I do! Oops. Okay, apparently those screws don't reach. Maybe these are the ones for the back panel. And did I leave them in? Ah, right, yeah. The front panel ones are captured. That's right, because they're not screws, they're little latchy doos. So these are the ones for the back panel. Hooray! Small moment of panic. It's all right. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Much nicer. Damn, the case is expensive, but I guess it's got... Yeah, the case seems more expensive than it is because it does have a built-in 650 watt PSU, which, as I've just discovered, is really, really quiet, so that's a bonus. Also has built-in RGB lighting, and also has a built-in key wireless charging station on the top there. So if you had a compatible phone, you could just go bloop, and your phone would charge. So yeah, it's got a few extra bells and whistles to account for the extra price. When you take that into account, it's actually pretty reasonably priced. You all keep a great big bag of lint-free cloths around, don't you? It's not just me. Fingerprinty, yummy. Here's my glasses cleaner. what fans are in this build. Just the PSU and the CPU fan at the moment. I am going to put a system fan on the back panel. Just haven't done that yet. Because frankly, I don't have the fan I want to use in that. There is a RGB fan I wanted for it, but it was out of stock. But it'll be fine for now. Between the fans on the GPU, the fans on the PSU, and the fan on the CPU, and the fairly open nature of the case at the bottom and back panel there, there'll be enough airflow. It will run a bit warmer than it should because I won't have any cross case airflow, but it's not going to put anything in danger. Nice. Very nice. Yeah. Not bad. Yeah. There we are. Not a bad looking little rig. Tell you what I could use on it though, a nice handle. This is going to be moved around a little bit. Nothing rattles, that's a good sign. The glass top on this thing is a little bit of concern as well. Going to be a fingerprint magnet. Well, not the glass, but perspex. But still, it does look really quite nice. Now then, we need a name for this, guys. I was thinking Ice Cube. Because it sounds alright, and it's, you know, white and, well, not quite cube shaped, but still. What do you reckon? What should we call this thing? I'll get that RGB working off stream. I'll install the drivers and things and take some cool pictures of it, because it's going to look really cool with some underglow as well. And I think I might even have some RGB strips around here somewhere. Light up the insides. Freezer, eh. These streams are chill unless they're villages. Minecraft villages. That'll ruin my chill real quick. Snowflake microwave, that's not bad. Call it the roaster oven, like toaster oven, but for roasting games. Esky. In Winnie the Pooh, I like that kind of chain. Doesn't really say anything about how it looks, but this clever name. Panda Mini. There you go. It does remind me a bit of that the Blunt Panda build, doesn't it? That was an InWin case as well, which is probably part of the reason why it looks so similar. And I've already managed to scratch up the perspex underneath there. Just been sitting around for a couple of weeks. Go Kiwi and call it Chili Bin. I like Chili Bin. Nice name to it. Penguin. Yeah. Nuki the microwave. Salt and pepper. Well, there's something. I could give it a paint job for Fallout 76. Go all blue and yellow with it. Call it Nuki. Because it looks like a microwave and radiation, Fallout, blah blah blah. Salt and pepper. Actually, let's power it up again and see if reconnecting that RGB did anything. Because it really should work. Even without drivers, it should default to something. Where's the... Oh, there it is. Yeah. Take it all apart, paint it, put it back together. Sounds like a good plan. Oh yeah, sounds like a real good time, doesn't it? Sounds like super fun. Oh, my monitor's all tangled up. There we go. Put the keyboard back in. Really should have put the wide angle lens on the camera today, shouldn't I? There we are. Cool hot plate. Actually, I kind of like hot plate because it does have the charging plate on the top there. It does look a little bit like a hot plate, doesn't it? Actually, I don't even know how well this would come apart because you got the Perspex top on here. I think that might be glued down or something. Don't know if you'd be able to get under that to paint it. Yeah, the underglow's still not working. Must be a driver thing. Tell you what though, Windows boots up fast, doesn't it? There's my network connection. Let's connect it, see what Windows says. See if it freaks out once reactivation. Actually, I don't even know whether this version of Windows was activated in the first place. Activation. Unable to reach Windows activation servers. Alright. Private connection to Twitter can't be established because computer's date and time. Is that correct? What the? Never seen that before. There we go. Yeah, connected to the internet at least. Now let's see. Something interrupted our troubleshooting. Make sure they connected to the internet. Blah, 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 blah. Alright. Okay, so this installation was not activated anyway, so it doesn't actually matter that we changed hardware. That's cool. Benchmark test to the build. Well, I think I should have some benchmarking stuff installed, but right, Agil to activate Windows on this device. You can activate this device if you're going to store. Yeah, okay. Okay, so it wasn't activated. Didn't think so. Let's see. What have we got for... Do I even have any... I thought I had some benchmark stuff installed. Actually, give me a sec. I gotta turn this around and see what I'm doing. Handbrake CPU. No, I've got some monitoring stuff. where is my benchmarking stuff? Nope, it's not installed. Alright, let's set up Steam and see if we've got anything in there. Alright, I got 3D Mark, Geekbench, and PC Mark installed. So, let's launch Geekbench and see what happens. Probably get this microphone a little bit out of the way now that I've done building. Alright, 64-bit benchmark, run benchmarks. Win 10 gets pretty annoyed when the time server doesn't work properly, actually. Yeah, so it seems. I've never had the issue come up before, though. I'm back. What did I miss? Zero Tech? I don't know. When did you leave? You might have missed the whole build. Alright. Now keep in mind, we haven't updated any drivers or anything, and I think this Windows install was an Intel machine last time. So there might be some AMD specific stuff we need to install to make sure things run smoothly, but still. First impressions. What else is new? That's why I'm excited for the improvements in Linux gaming. Recently making, hoping it's better soon. Well, Windows as a legitimate alternative has been on the horizon for 10 years now. Every Linux enthusiast for the last 10 years. Oh yeah, next year will be the year of the Linux desktop. Never happened. Alright, so without any driver updates or anything, Geekbench gives us 4090 single core serve and 23196 on the multi-core score, which is right about where it should be for the CPU, I think. Memory serves about 4000 single core on the second gen Ryzen 5. Someone Google that real quick. I'm pretty sure that's where we should need to be. Alright, let's GeForce. Hopefully it's installed properly. Nope. Okay. I'm not going to bother about all that login stuff. Let's just run 3D Mark with the drivers that are installed. Nope, 3D Mark is not installed locally, is it? No, okay, 3D Mark is not installed locally. What is installed locally? Geekbench, Mixed Reality, Beat Saber, Final Fantasy, PlayerUnknown's Battleground for some reason. Okay, so it's Geekbench was the only thing I had installed as far as benchmarking stuff goes. Oop, had OBS running in the background too. What about the Final Fantasy benchmark? Got that installed. Let's give it a grind. High quality 1080p in full screen mode. Start. Got Cinebench. Don't appear to have that installed. I thought I would have, but I don't know. I'm not even sure what this install was. But I've got Geekbench and Final Fantasy benchmarks on there and nothing else, so don't know what I was doing. The SteamOS was the best chance that Linux had any chance to break up in Windows. Yeah, it's a pity they asked it up, isn't it? Well, that seems to be running smooth. Looks somewhere close to 60. Hard to tell just by glancing. It's also a shitty monitor, so... There is a mass-market Linux system out there. The Chromebook, well... I mean, the Chromebook runs on top of Linux, but Linux isn't really what it is, if you know what I mean. It's like Android phones. They technically Linux, and even OS X is on a Unix core, so that's Linux-like, but still. Should fire up Dauntless to get game stream going. Well, I don't even, yeah, Dauntless isn't installed either. But yeah, I guess we'll come back and we'll do a stream on this rig once I set it up properly. Do some performance testing and hang out. Valve is pushing for it, but not having native DirectX 12 hurts a lot. Yeah, that's. I mean, Vulkan is good, but the stranglehold that DirectX has, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I would like to see Linux be a legitimate player in the space as far as mass market gaming rigs go, just for the sake of having some competition, so Windows isn't such a cunt all the time. Like, literally the only reason I have Windows machines is for gaming. Like, all my work gets done on a Mac. Anything productive I do gets done on my MacBook Pro. Can you show the RGB floating? No, I can't. For some reason it's not working. I don't know whether there's a break in the cable or I need to install some drivers or something, but yeah, right now the RGB underlighting is not working, unfortunately. But yeah, keep, you know, subscribe to the Twitter at Blunty and stuff. I'm sure once I get it working, I'll take a hero shot and post it up. Linux is definitely improving with Valve releasing Proton, and with the efforts of Wine team. Yeah, Wine's come a long way. If NVIDIA is pushing Vulkan now, like they said they want to, but might be able to break. Yeah, I mean, Vulkan's making some strides. Well, that's a thought. Rise of the Tomb Raider had a Vulkan option. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I don't remember seeing a Vulkan option in the menu there. It does run on DX12 by default, which is nice. But I don't remember seeing a Vulkan option on the recent Tomb Raider as opposed to the one before it. Doom, of course, that had the Vulkan option. Tomb Raider, what are thoughts on it? It's not as good as the other ones. I've played like 4 or 5 hours of it now. Yeah, 5 hours is safe to say. It's just not as fun. Mechanically it's fine. Like, moving around feels good. The stealth stuff, how they've done to improve the stealth stuff, it feels really fun. But the characters, the story, the environments, the environments look stunning, but they're just boring. The puzzles are a bit ugh. Yeah, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is not nearly as good as Rise of the Tomb Raider. Which is a shame. I was really looking forward to it. I'm going to give it another go. But yeah, we did stream it a couple of days ago. For those of you watching on YouTube, you normally stream gaming on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Blunty. But yeah, I had some massive performance issues with it. It was hitching and freezing and stuttering like crazy, and that was running on a separate machine to the stream rig. So there was no streaming hindrance performance thing. And the machine it was running on was, you know, 2nd gen Ryzen 7, 1070 Ti, plenty of memory, plenty of hard disk space. It was installed in SSD. There's no reason it should have been stuttering and falling over like it was, but it was. Tried it on my big machine behind me. That thing back there with a Threadripper 1950X and a overclock 1080 in there, and the performance issues went down, but they were still cropping up. It wasn't as often or as severe, but it was still a problem. So the game desperately needs a patch just for performance issues on PC. So I'm going to wait for that until I play it again. You will buy the new iPhone. Yeah, I've actually got a pre-order on the iPhone XS Max. So the not the most expensive version though, because it's already got the 256 version in white. Damn camera, focus. Should be coming to the end. Alright, we scored 79.44, which I think is good, but honestly it's been so long since I've run this benchmark I have no idea what the context is. Performance is sort of high. So yeah, someone Google that. What is a score of nearly 8,000? Just under 8,000 for the Final Fantasy benchmark. I think that's good. Seemed to run smooth. I didn't see any hitches. Alright, where's my Steam? Invalid SSL somewhere? What the hell? Yeah, I'm definitely going to need to install a bunch of stuff. Reinstall. Let's get 3D Mark installed. It shouldn't take too long. Got an iPhone 6, only took a few months, so cash don't need it. Yeah, I've been putting a little money away from it because, you know, we all know when the iPhones are coming, so I've been squirreling money aside just in case I decide to upgrade. So, yeah, I'm not, fortunately I'm not sort of out of pocket the entire cost of it all at once and shit like that, but yeah. Still stings. But the iPhone does form... Okay, so this should take about, what's 10 hours? What are you talking about, Steam? I'm going to take 10 hours to install 3.7 gigs. Okay, something's definitely wrong with the network. Probably the drivers on this thing, but yeah, I'll do that later. The new model of my iPhone, the max specs is €460. That's already a lot more than I'm willing to pay. I mean, like I was saying, the iPhone performs part of my workflow, so it is a little easier to justify upgrading for me, because I do use it as a camera, as an editing rig, as you know, for lots of photography stuff, lots of product shots I just do on the iPhone quite often. Some vloggy stuff I do on the iPhone quite often, so it's a little bit easier to justify, and that's one of the main reasons I like the iPhone as opposed to moving across to one of the Android options at the high end, because you know, the cameras on the iPhone aren't necessarily the best, but the combination of hardware and software is easily the best. The camera apps on the Android marketplace aren't nearly as good as the iOS equivalents. The iOS ones run so much better, so much smoother, so much more stable, because there's only one camera. Well, let's call it 4 different cameras, because they've got basically 4 models at any one time, whereas Android has dozens. So any app developer for Android has to account for all those different types of camera combinations and equipment and feature sets and all this, and it just doesn't work as well for what I do as far as the visual stuff goes. I like the iOS system too, where the way workflows bleed through to my Mac, through to my iPad, back to the phone. All that is so seamless, using AirDrop and all that kind of stuff. It's just nice. I don't have anything against Android, but for what I do, iOS just works better. Jason has to go. That's right, we're probably wrapping up the stream soon anyway. We've done the build. The only things I've got to do is like install all the drivers and games and stuff like that, and that's just not fun to watch on stream, and I don't want to do it while I'm on stream anyway, because it'll saturate my internet connection and probably cause issues with the stream. So we're just sort of winding down with a bit of chat now anyway. Camera APIs on Android just hard to work with and it's crap. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of really good cameras on some of those high-end Android phones, but yeah, it's the entire experience that what counts, you know. It is important, especially when, like I said, it's part of my my workflow. You know, there are jobs I've done with the iPhone that just would not have been as easy or simple or as elegant to do with any other phone. Been considering maybe getting a Mac Mini or something at some point, talk about my day-to-day stuff and help me dislodge Windows from my daily driver. Yeah. I don't know when the last time they updated those Mac Minis are, though. I do like the Apple TV too. That's a nice little unit. I use that for most of my basic media consumption. Why did I choose the Macs? I chose the Macs because of, again, what I do with video, photos, that kind of stuff. The extra screen real estate's just nice. When you're editing a video on a phone, having just the extra room to be more accurate with what you're doing is nice. I've got very big hands, so the size doesn't really matter that much to me. When I'm framing up a video or a photograph or something like that, it's nice to have the big screen, especially if I'm at a weird angle or something like that. Further away from the screen helps me see it better. If I'm not wearing my glasses, things like that. I just like the idea of the big screen. I've always gone for the biggest screen model of iPhone since there was options. Still in my 6 would like to upgrade, but cannot choose which one. Yeah, I mean, I've got my 7 Plus, which is covered in fingerprints. So I didn't upgrade last year. But this year's tweaks to the X system is just enough to bring me in. Interesting thing too with the 7 Plus here, I got the what do they call, the jet black finish. You know, the shiny black one, which was supposed to. Where's my light? I'm trying to catch the light on it. There we go. Wait, there he is. And you know, one of the warnings that came with this early on was, it's so easy to scratch. But I haven't used a case on this in the 2 years I've had it. And there are, you know, there's some very fine scratches on there, but it's nothing that really worries me. Am I getting 20 series cards to review? I hope so. I'm not getting pre-release cards. Ow. But I have spoken to one brand a couple of days ago, and they said I'm on their list for a sample. Don't know whether I get to keep that sample or it's just a loaner. Hope I get to keep it, because that means I won't have to buy my own. And I've got emails out to a couple of other brands, so hopefully at least one of them comes through, so I get to play with one of those new cards, see what's up. But yeah, not before release, unfortunately. NVIDIA are being really tight with their pre-release samples. Even controlling how the drivers get sent out. I don't get why Android fanboys talk about home screen customization when you spend all your time in apps. Well, it's just a point of difference. When you're doing that fanboy stuff and you're trying to go, well, this is better than this, you've got to find anything, you know, any bullet point list thing you can point to. We can do this, you can't do this. It's silly. All those inter-brand arguments are silly. Use what works best for you. It's that simple. Right tool for the right job for the right person. What do we think about the new iPhones of this year? I'll let you know when I get mine. What I think of it. I'll probably do a video. Probably do a camera comparison to the old 7 Plus or something. I don't know. People seem to like when I do those comparisons. I haven't done one in ages though. Might be time. Canon Chan says, I'm not an Android fanboy. I actually think the new iPhone looks like a good big hit. Yeah. I mean, it's overpriced for what it is, but you always pay more than you need to for Apple stuff. It's just part of the premium brand thing. And Apple, you know, it's not like Apple are the only one that charge more than they need to for any given device. People like to jump on Apple's tits about it, but they're a long way from being the only people guilty of it. Fish says, I love HTC because of the great forward-facing speakers. Yeah, it's been a couple of years since I've laid hands on HTC's phone, but yeah, every time I had, I've been impressed by it. And yeah, I think the last No, second to last HEC was when they first introduced those forward-facing speakers, and they did make a huge difference. It's lovely. Not sure what's up with this music. Alright, we should probably wrap up. Unless you guys want to talk about something else. God damn it. Pardon me. What is the time? Yeah, I got a little bit of time. We can hang out and chat if you like. What playlist are you on? I'm listening to basically a custom playlist of various tracks from technoaxe.com. teknoaxe.com. Royalty-free music tracks of many different styles that I pretty much exclusively use in my videos because I've never had any copyright issues with them. Because they are specifically designed to be, you know, issue-free when it comes to the copyright stuff. A little bit warm up top. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need to put a fan out back there. It's not hugely toasty in there, but it's warmer than it should be for idle. Oh, wait, no, wait, the power supply is right. No, actually, no, the heat's above where the CPU is, not where the power supply is, so yeah. Definitely going to need to put an exhaust fan on there just to help pull some air through. That's one that should be at idle, I think. Not sure you answered my question before. Sorry. Are you going to PAX Oz or another trip you spoke of? Both, actually, Ken, both. The dates for the trip to China, which I'm doing with Lenovo, them being a sponsor and all, that's happening just before PAX. I'll get back in time to have like 4 or 5 days home, then off to PAX. I have not locked it in yet, but it looks like I do have a sponsor for PAX. We're in... So hopefully sometime within the next week I'll hear back from them and lock everything down. But it seems fairly certain to go forward. I mean, it's a brand I've worked with before, and they liked what I quoted them as the kind of content that I would do for them if they sent me down there and things like that. They said, yeah, it sounds great, sounds great. So it's probably a sure thing, but it isn't locked in yet for PAX. And if I do go down to PAX, I will be doing the generosity thing. Which is the charity stream that I did January. Generosity 4 I did in January. We're doing it again at PAX this time. Actually, do I have... give me a sec. I'm going to post the thing in the chat. Okay. And in the YouTube chat. Okay, Twitch and YouTube chat's just got a link for the Generosity Kickstarter, because they've always funded these streams, the Generosity charity thing off their own back, but this time because they're doing it at PAX, there's a lot more expenses involved in getting it set up at the event hall and everything, so they're doing a little Kickstarter to help them out with that, so it would be appreciated if you would throw a couple of bucks their way. But yeah, like I said, I will... If I'm going to PAX, I will be taking part in the Generosity charity stream again. No idea what I'll be doing. Might do a live PC build. Might do more Minecraft stuff. I don't know yet. But yeah, I'll definitely be partaking in that again, because it is for a really good cause, child's play and things like that. So I'll be doing the charity thing at PAX. I'll probably try and get a booking for the Elgato stream pods again, so I can do my own stream from PAX as well, if I can. The Elgato guys are usually pretty good to help me out with that, so... But yeah. So, PAX is, we'll call it 80% confirmed at this point. What are we doing? Oh, we're arguing about PS4 versus PC. I mean, consoles are superior to PCs in some ways, which is why they exist. They make life really, really simple. You don't have to worry about driver updates, hardware compatibility. You know, if you've got the right GPU for any given game to run it at, the settings you want to run it at, all that kind of crap. Consoles are just like, install the game, go. Everyone gets the same experience. Easy. But there's a reason why some of us build rigs like that back there as well. So the games run much better, much higher frame rates, much better looking, and way more flexibility in everything else. So, you know, it's not PC versus console, it's PC and console. I mean, you can just see down there, PS4 Pro, Xbox One X, Nintendo Switch, which, by the way, I did this yesterday. I was trying out the D brand skins. I don't think I'll be keeping it. It looks kind of ugh. But I'll probably keep the dock. Because the dock looks pretty smick. But yeah, I did the console last night. I did the controllers about a week and a half ago. If I can get one of the controllers. Ow. Because I've been meaning to do this for ages, because when the Switch first released, the D brand cancelled all the pre-orders for the skins because it turns out the adhesive ruined the Joy-Cons, and then they came back a few months ago saying, hey, we fixed it. We've got new adhesive that doesn't ruin things anymore. So, yeah, I got both kinds, the wraparound kind and the split kind. So, yeah, I'm leaving these on for at least 2 weeks, and then I'm going to peel them off and see if it does any damage to the coating. Make a video. But yeah, I applied the skin to the actual Switch last night. I wish I'd picked different colours. White looks so crap. I thought it was going to look sort of super clean and, you know, like this thing. But it just looks cheap and awful. Finally getting a Switch in the next week or so. I love the Switch so much. So much. Didn't like the Let's Go ones that no need to wait longer. Yeah, I'm not going to get the Let's Go custom Switch thing. I've already got 2 Switches. But as big as a Pokemon fan as I am, I'm not going to get the Let's Go special edition. I'm going to wait till next year, because they're going to have another special edition for the proper big RPG, you know, the new, brand new, from the ground up new Pokemon RPG Core Series thing they're doing next year. So I'm going to wait to see what that is. Because I usually do buy at least one special edition Nintendo console for Pokemon stuff. Like I've got the X and Y special edition for the 3DS. So, but yeah, not this one. I have the D brand skin for the dock. Did a camo one turn out alright? Yeah, I like it on the dock. I don't like how it came out on this. If it even wants to focus. Actually, it looks good on camera when it's overblown, overexposed and everything. But yeah, I just don't like the white border. Actually, you know what? It looks better on camera than it does in person. Maybe I'll leave it on there. Maybe it'll grow on me. Whatever. If I get the special Joy-Cons released... Well, they're going to be selling the Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu Joy-Cons separately in Japan. But there are sites that do sell Japan exclusive stuff. What is the one I usually use? Let me see if I can find it here. No, not that. I forget one of those. Asia... No... I don't remember. Play Asia, that's the one, Farmer Trees, yeah. Play Asia was the one I'm trying to think of. Play Asia is a website that you can get imports from. I've got a few things from them over the years. they will probably have them for import. So I might grab those actually, because they do look kind of nice. It's not easy to make brown look nice, but that EV controller does look nice. I mean, I've already got my yellow ones. And I got the grey ones, which now have the green screen on them, the green skin on them. The grey ones were my original launch controllers, but they had the connectivity issue, which I never got fixed. And I've got the gross dual-coloured ones, which came with the second Switch I bought, which was the Amazon Prime Day super duper cheapest they've ever been sale, and I couldn't resist. And I'll probably try to do some hacks and jailbreak that second one once I can get my hands on the dongles and crap like that. Barely looked into it so far though. Have you become so rich? I'm not rich. I'm not rich. Not even close to rich. I'm just bad with money. Like, I don't have kids or anything to support, so I spend all my money on toys. I'm a man-child, terrible with money. No, I'm not even close to rich. Green when you have green skin does not sound good. Well, I'll be using the yellow ones